Hi guys, and this is a very special book review video because it's my 200th book review video. So I have a couple books. Most of them for this book review video were really good. And if I sound kind of funny, I apologize. It's because I'm sick. Been sick the last 3 days, and I really want to do this book review video, and today was the only day that I had where I could do it. So I was like, hey, I'm not gonna take a nap. I'm gonna do this book review video. So this is a book. I don't know if they ever made this into an episode of the show, but it's Monk. And Monk is this guy who helps solve crimes, and he has OCD, basically. And I only ever watched like a couple Monk episodes. I never really got into the series when it first came out or anything like that. And it's called Mr. Monk and the Blue Flu. It's by Lee Goldberg. This is what it looks like. And Monk, there's a strike going on with the police, and the mayor of San Francisco decides to let Monk be the captain of a division of cops who all have their unique quirks while they're trying to find this person that they're their most wanted person at the moment. And it goes through, like him being Monk, being his quirky self, trying to find what happened, and uses minute details to figure out what happened because his brain is so focused on the little details of everything because of his OCD. And I liked it. It was kind of like the show. It wasn't like it was I would say it was one for one with the show. And I thought some of the things that he did were funny, and some of the things about him, like how he's afraid of milk, and they go into why he's afraid of milk and why he does certain things. It was a good book. I really liked it. And I have two more because it was a whole series. That book came from like a library book sale, and they had I don't know if they had the whole series there, but they had a lot, and I only bought a couple because I'm like, I want to buy the whole series, and then what if I don't like it. So this one is a book my mom, she got me, and it's called The Bloody Brick Road. It's a Wizard of Oz retelling. This author translated it from French, and so some of not the whole book, but there's like a couple of occurrences in the book where you can kind of see oh yeah, they did translate this from French. And it's by Maud Royer. This is what it looks like. It takes place in like a present day area. And it takes place in Canada, like the Montreal area. So that's why some of the people still have some French names and stuff in the book. Let me just say, this book isn't for everybody. This book in the beginning has a trigger warning list. And this book, it's kind of in that realm of the Blackbird and Butcher series. I forget what that's called. It's like that trilogy. I read that, and it's kind of in that realm. It's really graphic. The things that happen. So like I said, this book isn't for everybody. It goes to some weird places. That's all I'm gonna say. Dorothy is the main character. Let's just say it's not it's supposed to be like what happens in Frank L. Baum's version, not like the movie version. And I read that book maybe I don't even know, maybe 10 or 11 years ago, so I don't really remember what happened in that book. And I have the Wizard of Oz book over here on one of my shelves. But it has some pretty interesting things that go on in this book. And from what I can tell from reading the end of this book, there might be maybe it might be a series because just how it ended. it would be pretty weird for it to have ended the way that it did and not the author not have like an idea for another book. So this book, I gave this book 5 stars. It was one of my favorite books so far for 2026. It's called Black Cake. It's by Charlemagne, I guess that's how you say her name, Wilkerson. And it used to, I guess it was, it was a Hulu series, this book. It was Read with Jenna. I don't know if that's Jenna Bush. I don't know. This is what it looks like. I don't remember where I got this book from. It's basically about this family, and their mother came from the Caribbean, and her dad did too. And her, the family, the main character, is her and her brother, and her mother just died. And they really don't get along, her and her brother, and here her mother's, did a recording, and her mother is telling them her story, the story of her life and what happened and what she had to overcome in this book. And let me tell you, like, this book is really good. Like, I didn't even know this was like a TV show or a streaming show. If this book wasn't one of those things, it should have been a movie, because this book, it went to like it kept your interest. The chapters were short. It would just change perspective between who you were talking with. It would go back in the past, go to the present, that sort of thing, but it told you, so it wasn't like you had to remember, oh, is this in the past, the present, whatever. I really liked it. It has some modern day issues that are still going on today, even though this book was written I don't know when this book was written, like in the 20 teens or something. I don't know if I can find it, but it was a really good book. I highly, highly recommend that you get this book, because it was good. I didn't know. It was written in 2023, so this book's 3 years old. I didn't know if I would like it, but I liked it. And the black cake is a thing that her mother would make. It was kind of like they used it as wedding cake in the Caribbean, stuff like that. And her mother used to make this, and the whole point in this book is she wants her and her brother to eat this last piece of cake that she ever made, and they would know when to eat it. And I really liked it. Like, it takes twists and turns. Like, you can feel the sorrow of all these characters, and it was really good. Now, I did say there was a plot twist in the book where I thought something happens to their mother when she was younger. And the whole book, like, you don't really get the answer until, like, the very last couple chapters. And I did not think it was, like, this is why and what happened. I thought it was something different in my mind as to why this person did this and why. But it was really good. Like I said, highly recommend, 5 stars. So this book, I don't remember where I got this book from either. It's Murder on Union Square. It's by Victoria Thompson. It's a gaslight mystery. And let me tell you, this is what it looks like. I am not going to get any more of this series because I did not like it. There was times in this book where I thought I was going to not finish it just because of the fact that I just didn't like it. It was hard to get through. It was too many, like, it was almost, I think, like, almost a 400-page book or somewhere like that. I know it was, like, 300 and something, but I just did not like this book. I didn't. I was like, I got halfway through it, and I'm like, if I can get halfway through it, I can finish this book. And, it's about this couple who want to adopt this daughter. And I guess the mother died from the previous book or something, and they find out that the mother's husband is still around, and there's a law where they're from. I don't remember if they're in London or America. I don't remember. Where he's still technically responsible for this daughter, even though the daughter isn't his. It was like a fling that his wife had with some other man. And they go to talk it over with him. And the next day, he's like, okay, I'll come and I'll sign the papers, whatever. And he ends up dead. And who finds him is the other guy, main character in this book. And the one thing I didn't like about this book is when they would talk to somebody, it was always, if it was male, it was always Mr. So-and-so. And if it was a woman, it was always, like, if they were just talking, like, to each other, for some reason, they would use the women's first names and not Mrs. or Miss so-and-so. And it got confusing because they were interchanging them all the time in the book. So you had to always remember who was Mrs. So-and-so and what was her name, and who was Mr. So-and-so and what was their name. Because they would use them all interchangeably. Like in a paragraph, they would change it. And you're just like, who was this person? I don't remember. This book, now I know they made this into a movie. I never seen the movie. I never read A Dog's Purpose. My mom did. Excuse me, but I never did. And this is called A Dog's Way Home. It's by W. Bruce Cameron. And this book was another book that it almost brought me to tears. And that's a very hard thing to do when I read books, is like, there was only ever like 1 or 2 or 3 books or a handful of books that I read that ever like almost made me cry or made me like sad in a way. This book is about a dog named Bella, and the only way I can describe it is it's kind of like Homeward Bound in a way, where the premise is this dog has to leave her family, and the owners are like, well, because they live in an apartment and they can't have dogs. And their thing is they have to find another place to live. And so they get the help from this woman who works like with shelters and stuff to have a foster family take care of the dog until they're able to find another place. And here she escapes because she wants to go home, because her owner always tells her, oh, like, go home. And she obeys him and goes home. So the whole book is she's trying to get home. And it's kind of like Homeward Bound mixed with, I feel like it's kind of like A Dog's Purpose in a way, except I know in that book that like the dog gets reincarnated into different dogs. But this book is kind of the same thing where the dog doesn't get reincarnated, but she ends up getting into different people's lives. And I feel like that's kind of like similar in a way to that book. And like I said, it was a really good book. And the ending was like, it was like almost a tearjerker, you know. And I have a dog, and I'm like, I wonder if my dog would be like that, if he would like be able to go from like a million miles away to back home. Like, it's amazing how dogs, sometimes maybe even cats, can do those kind of things. Last but not least, this is Killing the Witches. It's by Bill O'Reilly and Michael Dugard. The Horror of Salem, Massachusetts. This is what it looks like. Now, this book, halfway through, it changes. It talks about Salem for some of the book, and then it switches into like the founding fathers, like Benjamin Franklin and stuff like that. And it goes into, at the end, a really weird twist at the end, which I don't know if many people would know. It's about a classic scary Halloween type movie. There are pictures in the book once you get past, I think, or halfway through the Salem, Massachusetts stuff. I do like reading his books. This one was a good book, but it was just weird how it went from the Salem witch trials to the founding fathers stuff, to like the Revolutionary War stuff, to the Constitution stuff, that era, to how it ended. It was really weird in a way, I guess. But I still liked it. That was my book review video. Now, I will say, I am going to take a little break from doing book review videos because this is my 200th one. And I don't know how long it's going to be of a break. It's not going to be like a year-long break or 6-month break or something like that. But, I do want to say that so that way you guys aren't like, oh, like, where did she go? Did she stop doing book review videos because she got to 200? No. I'm trying to finish a bag of books. I only have like a couple left in a bag, and I want to finish that before I start doing book review videos again. So it might be maybe like 2 months or something like that. I don't really know. It depends on how long it takes me to get through these books. So I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time with another book review video. Bye.